Okay, I'm just gonna get it out of the way. I hate fishing in video games. You could be playing one of the most creative games ever, and then you walk up to a pond and suddenly you're doing the most undercooked activity imaginable. Stand still, cast line, stare at water until your eyes dry out, and then react within a microscopic timing window like you're playing Counter-Strike.
O kurwa! Epstein.
And it feels like everyone sort of accepts fishing for what it is, even though it absolutely does not need to be as poorly fleshed out of a mechanic as it is. It's a game's way of inflating playtime without adding, anything. And most games follow the exact same structure. There's a meter, an attention mechanic, and the fish has stamina, and you have stamina, and the rod has durability, and you have a fishing skill level that starts at 0 because apparently your character has never even held a stick before. And even if you do manage to catch the fish, what do you get? Fucking nothing. Maybe some money if you're lucky, but it's just a drop in the bucket towards completing some arbitrary achievement of catching every fish. And the collection of fish is just a checklist of increasingly annoying conditions. It's not skill, it's not strategy, it's just time. It's a developer's poorly fleshed out idea of a gameplay loop. If you want the cleanest, most perfect example of this format, play Stardew Valley. And I don't even mean that as hate. Stardew's fishing is just the purest, most standard video game fishing that exists. It's got the gimmick fish, it's got the condition-specific bullshit, it's got progression that helps you just enough to keep you grinding, but it's still fundamentally you standing at a river waiting for your life to happen. Now, credit where it's due, Stardew at least gives you an actual mechanic. When you hook a fish, it isn't just the lazy press button to receive fish system like in Animal Crossing. There's a little litmus test where you're trying to keep the fish inside the bar while it's being anywhere but inside the bar. And honestly, I like this mechanic. It adds skill. It means fishing isn't as mindless as Minecraft, where you can basically fish while astrally projecting. With Stardew, you do have to pay attention, and the difficulty scaling actually works. Rare fish will fight back harder, and you can feel the difference. The problem is, that attention requirement makes fishing that much less relaxing. Like, the game frames fishing as your cozy little break from the rest of the game, but then the moment you hook anything decent, it turns into a cortisol spike. Like you're clenching your jaw, trying to keep this stupid fish inside the meter, only to catch it and realize it's the wrong fish anyway. This is what I like about Sea of Thieves. Yes, I know it's crazy to like anything about Microsoft's greatest shit show, but the fishing is actually quite well fleshed out in that game. You can see what fish you're trying to catch before it even bites, which means if it's not what you're looking for, you can just cancel the catch and try again. But just like with Stardew, if you're trying to be remotely efficient with your fishing, which you're probably gonna have to, you can't really relax, which is exactly my biggest gripe with all of this. Most people don't engage with fishing because they like the cozy feature, they engage with fishing because it's a completionist trap disguised as a cozy feature. The moment you decide you want to finish the community center, or unlock the fisherman title, or get that catch every fish achievement, fishing stops being an optional pastime and becomes a self-inflicted grind. And these grinds are long, like comically long, especially in Stardew's single player, where it's just you versus the calendar. If you miss the seasonal window for a certain fish, you're basically fucked. And if you need it to rain, you have to go to bed for like a month, like you're Haley Welsh.
Anywho, I'm gonna go to bed, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.
So Stardew absolutely nails what most games think fishing should be. Tons of fish, tons of conditions, a skill-based minigame, light progression, and just enough rewards to keep you hooked. Now, to be fair, some developers are aware of these issues. Ultra Kill has a joke secret level where you basically just sit and catch fish for 15 minutes, and Cruelty Squad adds an extra layer of vomit to its gameplay with a joke fishing system that is brutally unfair. At least, I think it was a joke. And Fortnite? Well, Fortnite is an interesting case. To be entirely honest, there is no good reason for there to be fishing in a fast-paced battle royale like Fortnite. But as he so often does, Tim Sweeney stopped poorly role-playing as Gabe Newell for 5 seconds and added something to his game that nobody asked for. Now, I was gonna talk here about how most players either completely overlook Fortnite's fishing or brush it off as a joke feature. But for some reason, it's actually stupidly overpowered. You can get max shields and really busted weapons all for standing by some water and straight digging in your butt for a few minutes. You know, when you aren't getting shot at. Speaking of getting shot at, multiplayer fishing is usually packaged quite differently, since you want to lean into the interactions you can have with other players. Now, it's worth noting that some games do support multiplayer, but are also often poorly designed to be completable alone in a socially acceptable manner. This is why something like Minecraft's fishing isn't exactly the most fleshed out mechanic. However, I would say that Minecraft is a bit of a special case, because Minecraft servers do try to add on to that system. The best examples that come to mind are Wingcraft and Hypixel Skyblock. Since both have to carry the disadvantage of being stapled onto Minecraft, it leads to them coming up with relatively unique approaches towards fishing. if you want to call them that. I mean, Wingcraft's mechanic is barely a mechanic at all. You click once, wait, a bar fills up, and that's fucking it. And Skyblock, meanwhile, is just normal Minecraft fishing with a modified loot table, which is about as much of an improvement as salt on unseasoned chicken. But what makes these servers more interesting to talk about than just vanilla Minecraft is that they at least try to build outward from just the fishing mechanics alone. Wingcraft has a straightforward fishing progression, with better rods, higher level fish, longer catch times, the usual treadmill. But then it throws in the option of PvP that massively boosts fishing rewards, which is the one actually clever twist in the whole system. Suddenly, you're not just half paying attention to a gathering minigame, you're also scanning your surroundings for some unemployed gremlin who's about to run up and 3-tap you. It's still not fun exactly, but it does at least inject a pulse into an otherwise comatose activity. And to Hypixel's credit, words I do not say lightly, the fishing there is actually pretty good, or at least good by fishing standards, which is not exactly a high bar. For a game literally categorized as RNG hell, its fishing is no exception. However, the time between catching fish is so short it feels more like you're playing slots, and the additional chance to pull up sea creatures that function like little mini bosses gives the whole thing some desperately needed tension, keeping you engaged.
Gold, gold, gold. Game in! Oh, was? 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 An OG gold! What the fuck?
Hypixel also pushes multiplayer interaction in a way that actually feels meaningfully connected to what you're doing. There's bonuses for fishing near other players, and it's always nice to have people around when a mini-boss spawns, so you can steal their kill. I mean, help them fight the boss. But there's one more game I want to talk about. Webfishing. Webfishing is the reason I even started making this video to begin with. Clearly inspired by classics like Animal Crossing and maybe the social vibe of Club Penguin, it was really big in 2024, before its creator unfortunately got doxxed and the game lost its momentum in both development and popularity. But despite all of that, it's still a good game. I like it. I mean, it's not some masterpiece of originality. It definitely carries over widely adopted fishing mechanics. There's different types of bait, region and event exclusive fish, different rods and upgrades to them, a fishing level, hotspots, hooks with different perks, fish size and qualities, and of course, a mini game where you reel in the fish. But what makes Webfishing stand out is how it approaches these mechanics and tailors them to work with the player rather than against them. I think the most glaring example of this is the fishing minigame. It's extremely intuitive, having you hold down to reel in and needing you to spam click past certain checkpoints. And as you level your rod, you'll need to spam less and less to catch those fish. But what really turns the system on its head is a simple design change. You don't need a click when the fish bites. This one tweak completely rewrites the energy of fishing. The intent of most other fishing games is to have you glued to the screen, waiting for some little indicator to click and catch the fish. But because Webfishing does that starting click for you, you don't need to be laser focused until the minigame starts. Even better yet, one of the hooks you can unlock has this minigame wait for you to initiate, so you can catch fish while doing literally anything. Not once did I really feel like I was grinding web fishing. The progression came at a steady pace on its own. And the game does have plenty of gimmicks and things to do other than fish. You can draw with chalk, hunt for treasure, and poorly attempt to play the guitar. Now, to be clear, there is levels to this. Rift Fishing, Webfishing's spiritual successor, absolutely fails in its fishing mechanics, despite doing a pretty good job at copying its older brother. It does have the auto-catch mechanic, but the fishing minigame itself is so easy, you would have to be a vegetable to fuck it up, which doesn't make the fishing feel rewarding enough. So there is a balance to be struck between the two. The fishing has to be unintrusive, but still somewhat challenging so you can feel like you actually accomplished something. And with the fishing in these games being much more slow-paced, it turns the focus on stuff like the visual design of the environments you're in. I mean, one good look at both of these games, and you can easily tell which one I prefer. And I don't think this is a phenomenon exclusive to Webfishing. Games like Spiritfarer, Minecraft, Sea of Thieves, hell, even Ultra Kill all have fishing mechanics that do pace themselves. And that gives you plenty of time to sit and take in just how beautiful these games can look. This is what fishing is meant to be. Not a grind fest, not some intense mini game, but an opportunity to take in those little moments in between, as your bobber dips up and down in the water.
Fuck you! I'm done!